Our last episode saw Elana, myself, and the crew leaving the folks at Silver Sport Transmissions in Rockford, Tennessee, en route to our next destination, which was a mere 400 miles away. Before our arrival, though, Elana found some amazing attractions that took us off the interstate for a much-needed break.
There it is. See it? This is what we came to see. This right here, I'm gonna go real nice and slow.
Oh, we can pull in right next to it.
Oh, yeah. See, this.
See, is that not worth it?
This is the elephant for which we came.
Our first stop was Ellie, the sunglass-wearing pink elephant in Cookeville, Tennessee. But, as majestic as she was, it was our second stop at the iconic STAX Museum of American Soul Music that was even better. Upon arriving to the museum, and to our dismay, filming was just not allowed inside, which was disappointing. But what we can say to that is this.
That was the best find.
Oh yeah, you
that
like
was
the Soul
so
Museum?
good. Yes. Like so much bought a hat.
I have a surprise for you.
What do you got?
I bought a sticker.
I also bought a sticker.
What? Wait, what?
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Gritty, groovy, and getting it.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's Isaac Hayes' Cadillac. You had to buy that.
Gold-plated Cadillac.
Yeah, that is a gold-plated Cadillac.
From Isaac Hayes' actual gold-plated Cadillac to a replica of the studio where artists like Otis Redding, Booker T and the MGs, and the Bar-Kays played, this is a must-visit for anyone who travels to the Memphis area, music lover or not. Right, so we just got to the hotel. Covercraft made us this amazing custom cover for the, for Big Green back here. Jeff's gonna come in, we're gonna cover this sucker, we're gonna put him to bed, and then we're gonna put us to bed because it has been a long day, which is finally over. So let's get to this. Jeff, you wanna give me a hand, dude?
All right, give me half this thing.
So now that Big Green is in bed, I'm going to bed. See you later. It was time to head to our next upgrade destination and a place where any hot rodder worth their salt would want to venture to. That being the Edelbrock Group in Memphis, Tennessee.
Elana, how you feeling today?
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, it was kind of it's been a long trip thus far.
I mean, it hasn't been bad. We're still running.
We are. Big Green is still moving, which is good.
And hopefully we are going in exactly the right place to fix that problem that I just felt right then.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're having a couple of fuel starvation problems, it seems, like fuel filter or, I don't know. It's just, we're getting some bogging issues and that's not very good. However, we are going to the most appropriate place to take care of them today. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Edelbrock. So what we're doing, we're going there, they're going to look at the whole fuel system, they're going to put EFI on this thing. Hopefully that'll solve all the problems because literally after Edelbrock, then we go to Texas, and then from Texas we run through all those southern states and go all the way back to Los Angeles. Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Mark?
Good morning, Mark.
Mark Musto.
Mike, nice
Good to meet you, man.
Alana, hi.
Very nice to meet you. Well, welcome to the Edelbrock Group. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah, we've about 1,100 miles into our 3,000-mile journey, and we just started having a couple of carburation issues and fuel issues, so I feel like we're at the right spot.
Well, I think we can help you out. We got a brand new Edelbrock Pro-Flo 4 system that we're going to put on that hot rod out there for you. Should be able to get all that fixed up and get rid of the old school and put in some new school.
Okay, I think we should quantify that hot rod may be an overstatement.
I mean, it's a rod.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a big piece of metal.
Well, does it have air conditioning? Because it might be hot.
Oh, good. Fair. You got it. We're done. It is.
That's it?
It is in fact a hot rod. It's quite warm.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
So what's our next step? What are we doing?
Well, I think we're going to get this thing pulled around. We got our R&D area in the back there. We got a couple guys waiting to get the install going. So, yeah, let's head around back.
Good.
Mark, this is like Christmas. What did you get me?
Well, we got
Us. What did you get us?
That's right, you got to share.
Us.
Well, we got all the goodies to fix up this old truck in the back here. So we got a couple of things that are just kind of dress up items. We've got a real nice aluminum air cleaner that's going to make it look a little shinier and prettier underneath the hood. Same with the Elite Series valve covers. We're going to put those on just to dress it up. But then when we get into the middle here, we kind of got the meat and potatoes of the job. And this is the really exciting stuff. So everything you see basically right here in the middle is the complete kit.
Okay.
So you don't have to buy anything else other than what you see here to make this thing work on the truck, which is really exciting. So distributor, wiring harness, nice little EFI ECU. It's real small, easy to mount anywhere.
Yeah.
And then the really exciting part is the manifold itself. It is a completely assembled, ready-to-go unit. It's got the injectors, it's got the rails, the throttle body, the sensor in it. It's basically just, you take the old one off, you put this one on. So very, very simple.
And this guy's for a small block Chevy, but you
Yeah.
make a ton of these kits for like basically all of the commonly collected muscle car engines, and
Yep.
then a few of the kind of rarer ones.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, pretty much anything that we make a manifold for, we have one of these kits for.
What if I say have an AMC?
Yep.
You
Got
do.
those. We got Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, all that
Nice.
stuff as well too. So yeah,
Now,
it's,
let me ask you a quick question. Do me a favor and just go, what is the difference between this and a TBI kit?
well, the big difference between this and a throttle body or a TBI injection kit is where the fuel is put in.
Okay.
So these, of course, have 8 injectors in them, and they are in each individual runner. Whereas a TBI system has the throttle body on the top, and the injectors are in the throttle body.
Okay.
So that simulates more of what like a carburetor does, versus this is a sequential port fuel injection. So each one of these injectors fires at the exact moment that it requires the fuel in the cylinder. So it's not just dumping a bunch of fuel in there and letting it go where it needs to go. This is actually put in at a specific time and a specific amount for the engine that we're putting it onto. So
So this is a lot more like a modern system.
Yeah.
absolutely, very, very modern. I mean, pretty much all new vehicles have sequential port fuel injection
Okay.
systems on them, and we know how good they run.
Yeah.
So we're going to take this old carburetor off and replace it with fuel injection and
Sweet.
make some pretty cool things happen.
Okay.
We got some more bits though.
We
Let's
do.
finish up.
So we got a few more bits. So one of the really key features to the EFI system, which we didn't talk about, is the cool little tablet.
Gauges.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to
Yeah.
know.
Gauges.
So this is going to do all your initial setup. It's also going to do, as we move forward, the tuning and everything like that will all take place based on what's going on in here. And then once you're done with all the tuning, you can mount this in your vehicle. And like you said, now you got gauges. You got everything that you can see that's going on here.
Yeah.
You can watch on this
That's so
tablet.
good.
So really, really neat as far as that goes. Absolutely. So then, yeah, we get into the other things. Now, we talked about the complete kit. The only thing that's not in here is the fuel system, and
Okay.
that's because there are so many options. We're taking the easy way on this one, and quite honestly, my favorite is we have a mechanical fuel pump on there already. So it's going to basically tie into this fuel sump kit. It's going to fill this sump full of gas.
Yeah.
Then it's got a high pressure fuel pump in here that pumps it out and into the EFI system. So of course the carburetor runs on, 5, 7, 8
Yeah.
PSI. This system needs, 40 to 50, 60 PSI
Yeah.
depending on how you're setting it up. And that's what you get out of this system. So no removal of the tank, no messing around
That's
with
fantastic.
that. We're just going to feed it into the factory pump, into here, into the fuel injection system, and we're ready to go.
That's such a nice thing, because I know one of the questions that we always get asked are, do you have to drop the tank? Do you have to put a pump in the electric fuel pump in the tank?
Yeah.
This really does kind of take the guesswork out of that.
Absolutely.
So for the enthusiast, that's a great solution.
Yeah, makes it super simple. Comes with a little bit of line, comes with a new fuel filter, which there's a good chance we probably need that.
We
know
need
we
that.
got a little bit of something going on with this truck. And then we also have a new coil and new plug wires as well. So we're just gonna make sure that we got all the components taken care of. And then also, which is really, really neat, is our instructions. They are full color. It hasn't been copied 10 times,
Right,
and
right,
you
right.
can't read it. Every single page has color pictures, very detailed instructions. So
That's nice.
really, any do-it-yourselfer can do this at home.
Right. So before we got to the Edelbrock Group, we really were having some pretty hairy bogging issues that were causing both Elana and myself some concern. Was it a fuel filter? The carburetor? Honestly, we weren't sure. What we did know was that we were now in the hands of the experts, and that made us feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Mark, I looked away for like 5 seconds and half my engine is gone.
They work pretty quick, that's for sure, but it's going well.
Mike and I had a bet going as to whether or not we were going to see a thermostat in this thing when we took the thermostat housing off. Was there one?
There was definitely a thermostat in there, absolutely. A little bit old, so we are going to put a fresh one in. But other than that, maybe a new rad hose. We did find a little issue with the distributor cap. Ooh. So you had mentioned that it was goofing around a little bit. Well, we found a wire that was arcing a little bit, and we did look at that fuel filter, and it's a little bit plugged up as well too. So.
Oh, so our problem, was it fuel, was it spark? Why not both?
Why not both? Absolutely. But you need both of those for it to run good. So.
Yeah, well, you're replacing all that stuff anyway. Absolutely. So what's next?
Well, we've got just a little bit more cleanup to do, and then we're going to get that intake manifold. We got it on the bench sitting there ready to go, all wired up. We'll put some gaskets on it, some silicone, and start putting this thing back together.
Just a 15-minute job.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to give everybody an update on how our day one install on the EFI system at Edelbrock went. So as you can see, a lot of stuff was taken off the motor, right? We're talking intake is gone, carburetor, valve covers, distributor, air cleaner, even the fuel pump was replaced. And that's basically what needs to be removed in order to get the install on the EFI done. They're only a couple hours away from finishing it up. But tomorrow, I don't know, probably mid-morning they'll be done, which is great because then we get on the road and go on a 600-mile jaunt to Dallas where, let's just say it's a little warmer down there, but we have a solution for that.
Hey, dude. You organizing?
Yeah, we made a mess last night.
Were you guys here a long time after we left?
No, we stayed a little bit longer. I did some work on the exhaust. We got our O2 sensor welded in, and a couple more things. We got the spark plug wires all tied up and finished some of the wiring and tying things where they need to be and called it a night.
So what are we going to do this morning? Are you going to finish it?
We should. So we got to pour a little bit of coolant in it, prime the fuel sump so that we got fuel, and then load the cal into the computer and we should be good to go.
That actually doesn't sound like that much. Like we're gonna do this and get on the road.
Oh yeah, we got you.
Oh, this is awesome. Okay, let's get started.
Let's go.
Mark Jameson said we are pretty much ready to start this thing. So.
We're pretty close. We got to do now is get some fuel pressure. So we got our fuel sumping on this application. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank the motor over like 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, okay. 10 seconds on. Allow the mechanical fuel pump to pull fuel from the tank and fill up our fuel sump. Then we'll plug it in, hook up the battery, get a Bluetooth connection, and set the fuel pressure.
How do we know when the sump is full?
Well, we really don't, but we know that the mechanical pump is getting fuel pressure, so we're going to chance it. We're just going to, if you crank it over generally almost every application, if you do it 3 or 4 times like that, it's just like getting fuel to the carburetor. It's going to fill the fuel sump up. And it's got floats in it, so it'll maintain the fuel. Jameson, let's give it a crank.
And just like that, Big Green now had a sequential port EFI system thanks to the amazing team at Edelbrock. But it wasn't complete just yet. With the install nearing completion, there were still a few items that needed to be taken care of, such as setting the timing, double-checking the wiring, and then calibrating the EFI system via a very trick Bluetooth tablet that can be used both in and outside the vehicle. And to top it off, it also serves as your dash-mounted gauge cluster if you so choose. Honestly, the entire system is just brilliant.
I've been waiting for this.
Well, we already have gauges, which is a radical difference from before.
I mean, just the fact that we know we have a tach and we have a coolant gauge, which I know you don't like.
I don't like to know.
Because you like to live in the world of like, nah, we're totally fine.
Everything's totally fine.
Deniability.
Right.
Alana, are we gonna make it? We're totally fine. Just look at this. Look at how nice this runs.
This is pretty great.
I mean, there's no stumble, there's no bog, there's no anything. It just runs. So all that action when we were driving into Memphis and it was like stuttering and farting and stuff, not happening right now.
Yeah, now the only thing that's going to be stuttering and farting in this truck is you.
Look at this.
This is pretty great. Oh, and here's the thing that I'm really excited about. It runs this good now, and it's going to get better, right?
Absolutely. Yep. As you keep driving it, it will get better and better and better. That's the beauty of it.
This is great. Like Big Green actually feels modern now.
Yeah.
Oh, this really is nice. Now the cool part is, transmission's done, fuel injection's done, but what you can't see, well, you might be able to see the perspiration running down my head. It is somewhat toasty in here, and as our next stop is Texas, we're gonna have to take care of the interior of this to cool that down a little bit. Well, dude, I think we've taken enough of your time, and we can't thank you because, like, I mean, we can thank you and thank you, but you probably want to get back to work, or you're more than welcome to hang out and come to CA with us.
Yeah, you want to come to California?
Sounds like a bad plan, really. Maybe come get me after you get the AC fixed.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We will call you when we get to California.
Please do.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
Not going to lie, taking a completely untested 40-year-old Suburban on a 3,500-mile road trip was somewhat of a gamble, and one that so far had been paying off. However, as Murphy's Law would have it, every time we did an upgrade, Big Green would pay us back by having one of its original parts give up the ghost. This time, it was the cooling system. We'll see you next time on Hemmings' Road to Improvement. If you like what you see, please hit that big red button below and subscribe, and thank you for watching.